Is professional wrestling a real sport? In 1999, the pro wrestler Owen Hart had a big match. He wanted to make a grand entrance, so he planned a daring stunt. He would be lowered from the arena ceiling into the ring. But something went terribly wrong. Hart fell 50 feet and died. Hart's death shocked pro wrestling fans everywhere. His death also brought an old debate back into the spotlight. Should pro wrestling be called a real sport, or is it just a spectacle? A sport is a physical activity or athletic game. Sports pros demonstrate great strength and often risk harm. A spectacle is something unusual that is presented for entertainment. It can include glitzy costumes and shocking stunts. Fans of pro wrestling often feel they have to defend it. They say pro wrestling is a sport and that the wrestlers are athletes. Others say pro wrestling is just a spectacle. They claim that the matches are less about sports and more about the show. Who is right? Is professional wrestling a real sport? Yes. Professional wrestlers are hard-working athletes. So these are facts that show how wrestlers are like other athletes. Pro wrestlers are athletes. They are just like football players or boxers. They work with coaches. They go to special schools to learn their sport. They train hard, trying to get strong, and they practice regularly. Pro wrestlers risk injury every time they go to work, just like other athletes do. So if pro wrestlers are athletes, then pro wrestling is a real sport. Pro wrestling has millions of fans. These include pro athletes from other sports. For example, the football player Randall Godfrey of the Washington Redskins is a fan. Wrestling is definitely more punishing than football, he once said to the New York Times. We wear pads. These guys don't. A professional football player admires the athleticism and hard work of pro wrestlers. That is proof that pro wrestling should be considered a sport. No, it is all a big act. Here's the other side. Pro wrestling is entertainment. It is not a sport. Why? Because the wrestlers know who will win before they step into the ring. Pro wrestlers are actors. They are not athletes. They are basically following a script. They are told when to use which moves. They know what moves their opponent will use. They are also told who should win or lose a match. In real sports, this is called fixing the game. It is illegal. A pro wrestling event has a giant stage, lots of lights, and costumes. It is a piece of theater, not a sports match. One fan puts it this way. As a kid, watching wrestling is about the costumes and the colors. But as you get older, it becomes about the storylines and the characters. It really is a soap opera for men. Soap operas are emotional TV shows about relationships. They are not sporting events.